Good morning, dear students. Today we are going to take up the next literary terms prescribed for BA second year English literature. First of all, we will discuss free verse, then blank verse, then idylls, and then irony. Free verse, dear students, free verse is a modern term that means verse libre in French. It's a modern form of verse that does not adhere to or follow any specific rhyme or metrical scheme, although it does not completely desert the basic poetic precepts or rules of heightened language and sounds. This type of poetry was popularized by notable poets such as Walt Whitman and Emily Dickinson during the late 19th century. Whitman's signature collection, Leaves of the Grass, almost entirely composed in free verse. Leaves of Grass is a wonderful, most renowned collection of poems, of songs by Walt Whitman. So, free verse, dears, is a kind of term in which a poem is written where there is no specific rhyme or no specific meter, but the language and sounds are considered, they are emphasized, they are heightened. Means there is no meter, no rhyming scheme in free verse, in free verse poetry. It may be of one word, a line may be of one word, of two words, of three words, of four words. Means there is no restriction of meter in free verse. Next comes your blank verse. Blank verse denotes verse composed of unrhymed lines of iambic pentameter. This is very important. Most of the English poetry is written in blank verse. Blank verse is a verse that is composed of unrhymed lines of iambic pentameter. Means in blank verse, the poem is written in iambic pentameter. Iambic means the first syllable unstressed and the second is stressed. Unstressed, stressed. When unstressed is followed by stressed syllable. And it is written pentameter means 5 feet line is uh, written. Penta means 5 meter, 5 feet. 1 foot is equal to 2 syllables. So 5 is equal to 10 syllable, decasyllabic line. Decasyllabic line written in iambic means a syllable that is unstressed and then followed by stress syllable. Unstressed, stress, unstressed, stress, unstressed, stress, unstressed, stress, and unstressed, stressed. So that is iambic pentameter. Iambic pentameter line that is unrhymed means that does not have rhyming scheme, that does not have any kind of rhyming, or the end words does not match with each other. That is blank verse. It is generally employed in English dramatic, epical, and reflective verse. Blank verse is often unobtrusive and iambic pentameter form often resembles the rhythms of ordinary speech. Initially, it was used by Henry Howard, Earl of Surrey, but it soon became the standard meter for dramatic poetry as well as a popular form used in narrative and meditative poems. A bulk of the finest verse of English by Marlowe, William Shakespeare, John Milton, William Wordsworth, Alfred Tennyson, etc., has been written in blank verse. Milton's grand epic Paradise Lost is also written in blank verse. Next comes your idylls. Idylls derive its name from a Greek word meaning a little picture. Idylls means a little picture. And so the term idyll in poetry is associated with relative brevity and pictorial effect. It portrays incidents of rural life in farms which are suggestive of innocence and contentment or satisfaction, and other events of similar nature. The language is so dexterously selected as to give the desired pictorial impression of the chosen theme. It is usually direct and straightforward, and its purpose is to create a visual image in the reader's mind. The idylls of the Greek poet Theocritus have varied themes, town and country life, mythology and poets' own experiences and impressions. Other famous idylls are Milton's El Allegro and Il Penseroso, Wordsworth's Lines Written in March, Tennyson's Idylls of the King, a sequence of Arthurian romances, and Browning's dramatic idylls. So, in simple terms, we can say idylls are the poems which are specifically associated with rustic life and that picturize the shepherds, that portray the shepherd's life or the rural life, which suggest us of innocence and contentment. People are very innocent, they are guileless, they are artless, they are innocent, and they are satisfied with whatever the resources they have. Now comes your irony. Last is irony. Irony is a form of contrast. It arises when we say something and mean just the opposite. Mainly, there are two types of irony: verbal irony and situational irony. Irony means something that is opposite of what we say or what we do. That is irony. हिंदी में इसको विडंबना कहते हैं. Something what we expect does not happen. Something what we say does not mean. Something what we do does not result as per our expectations. That is irony. It is of two types: verbal irony and situational irony. Verbal irony is created out of contrast between saying and doing, whereas situational irony emerges from the two situations, the expected and the real one. Of course, the one is almost the opposite of the other. Shakespeare's As You Like It furnishes several illustrations of the use of verbal irony. It arises when Rosalind, disguised as a shepherd, accosts her lover Orlando in the forest of Arden and talks to him as if she were a man. That is ironical, of course. She is, though she is a woman, but she talks as though a man. Disguise is a source of verbal irony. Shakespeare's Macbeth furnishes ample examples of situational irony. It is said to occur when circumstances convey opposite meanings to the agents on one hand and the audience on the other. Visit of Duncan to Macbeth's castle is an instance of situational irony. Duncan expresses his pleasure, but the audiences are aware that it means his doom. He is stabbed to death by his host Macbeth. So, dear, simple terms, we can say verbal irony and situational irony. Verbal irony means when there is contrast or difference between what we say and what we do. Means when we say something else and we do something just opposite of what we say. That is verbal irony. And situational irony means the situation that just results opposite of what we expect. That is situational irony. That's all for today, and have a nice day.